Okay. Hear me? Good. Okay. So, what's up? This is actually a little late in the month um, for this for various reasons. Fortunately, though, a lot of what I'll try to highlight is towards the end of the month, so we haven't missed an awful lot. I mentioned earlier that we're coming to the end of galaxy season. I was asked, well, but I can still see galaxies. Absolutely. I mean, there's lots of galaxies you can see all year round. But people refer to galaxy season because uh, March in particular is when Virgo is high in the sky, and there's lots of galaxies to see in the Virgo supercluster. And this is a picture of Markarian's chain, which is a famous chain of galaxies in Virgo. Okay, this thing's all right. Sun this month. Hey, no mystery. Days are getting longer. So you probably noticed at the start of the month, it you hear the birds pretty early in the morning. So dawn started May 1st, just after 4. Um, by the end of the month, it'll be just after 3. Sunrise actually taking place at 5:32 at the end of the month, and sunset taking place into the month few minutes before 9, um, but dusk only ending at 11. So if you're an imager, nights are short. You get four hours of real darkness. The sun. Um, what's it looking like today? Lots of sunspot groups visible. Um, the bigger AR3296, which is the one that was responsible for a number of M-class flares, is rotating out of view. The groups that are coming into view are pretty stable, so unlikely to have flares associated with them. But apparently, there's a really big sunspot on the other side of the sun that will rotate into view next week. So that might be interesting. On the right, this is just some statistics that I thought was kind of interesting. This picture and the stats are from spaceweather.com. Um, in 2023, there have been 0 days where there have been no sunspots visible from the Earth. And in 2022, there was only 1 day. So that tells you we're moving into solar maximum. Compare that to 2019, where there were 281 days where there were no sunspots. So, and but if you go back to the last solar maximum, uh, you know, well, look between 2011 to 2015. Sun was very active in those 4 years in terms of sunspots. So 2024, 2025 should be good. The moon this month. Frogs croaking full moon was on May 5th. The Eta Aquarius meteor shower peak was on the 7th. So past the last quarter, the 12th would have been last night, or seen it early this morning. May 17th, that's the next kind of neat event. If you're an early riser, you can see the moon close to Jupiter, a very thin, um, waning crescent moon. Here's what you can see in your 15 by 70 binoculars just before sunrise on the 17th. So worth getting up early, I think. New moon is May 19th. That's the trees fully leaf moon. Um, and then the next two events are on the 23rd and 24th of May, where the moon is near Venus and Mars. And May 27th is the last quarter. May 23rd. This is a nice wide angle photo op. Um, you see in just after sunset, uh, Gemini's fairly low in the sky with Venus right in the middle of it. Nice crescent moon, also in Gemini, and then Mars moving towards Cancer. So quite lots of nice bright objects, bright stars to capture. And on the 24th, a little later, around 10, um, notice again a crescent moon and Mars in Cancer. And if you have a DSLR with an APS-C sensor and a 100 millimeter focal length lens, that's what you'll see on the lower part of the screen. You can catch Mars and the B cluster and the crescent moon all in one frame. The best time to knock off a few of the uh, lunar targets for explore the universe or explore the moon is between May 26th and the 28th, when the Terminator is near the center, so just before and just after last quarter. Um, so the first quarter, if you're a keener, you can also look at last quarter moon, but you have to get it early in the morning. Planets in May. Mercury is visible by the middle of this month, just before dawn. It's dimmer than it has been. The maximum western elongation will be 25 degrees on the 29th. Venus is still brilliant in the sky and will be visible up until midnight for much of the month. The 9th, its maximum northerly declination is 26 degrees. And the 23rd, as I said, it's near the waxing crescent moon. Mars, dimmer than it was at its closest approach, but still pretty obvious as a nice red point of light. And the 23rd and the 31st are the days when Mars is either near a crescent moon or near the cluster. Jupiter is a morning object by the second week of May. Later on in the month, there's a series of double shadow transits, and if you look in the observer's handbook, that will. Oh, oh, it's filter cleaning. What does that mean? Oh, the projector actually shut itself off. Short intermission while the projector cleans its filter. I think they should, so they don't burn the bulb out. So we're on the timer. Yeah, that would do it. So it's sunny. I don't think skies are going to be clear tonight. I just checked Astro-Spheric, and I think around between 10 and 11, the skies will be pretty decent. But not long enough to do any serious imaging, but certainly long enough to do a bit of observing. We are. Okay, we're back. So Jupiter, look for it in the morning. Saturn, also look for it in the morning in Aquarius. Um, Uranus is too close to the sun this month to be visible, and Neptune can be found low in the east just before dawn. So this is what you'll see if you use your binoculars, your 15 by 70s on May 31st. This is a beautiful view. So Mars, uh, almost in the middle of or on the edges rather, of the Beehive cluster in Gemini. So fingers crossed we'll get a nice clear sky. There you go, even nicer. So Blair just said the next day, if you have a telescope, have a look, and Mars will be in the Beehive cluster, right in the middle of it. Spring constellations. What should you be looking for and explore the universe? Ursa Minor, Ursa Major, high in the sky, pretty easy to find. Botes, another one that's easy to find. Just look at the bright red-orange star Arcturus, and the trick then is if you follow the arc of the handle, the Big Dipper, that points down towards Arcturus. Leo and Virgo um, are getting pretty low in the southwest, so soon to be gone. And Libra is climbing in the southeast. Spring stars ranking in relative brightness. Arcturus is number 3, so pretty easy to find. Um, 2 stars in Ursa Major, Dubhe and Merak. 2 stars in Ursa Minor, Polaris and Kochab. Kochab is fairly bright. Regulus and Denebola in Leo, Spica in Virgo, and in Libra, the 2 tongue twister stars, which I'm not going to pronounce. Z stars. Dave Chapman can pronounce them properly. There you. Deep sky objects. Messier 5 is the one to look for and explore the universe. It's just at I don't know if it's actually in Virgo, but it's close to Virgo. It's an ancient, densely populated globular cluster, and it's actually in Serpent. And you can see it with binoculars. It's pretty spectacular in a small telescope too. Double star target for Explore the Universe. This is an easy one. Try to catch this one before Leo disappears. Atafera or Zeta Leonis and 35 Leonis. This is an optical double, so they're actually not gravitationally linked, but they appear to be a double. They're pretty easy to find, and you should be able to split them easily in binoculars. They're 174 light years from each other, so obviously not gravitationally paired. And an optional solar system observation in Explore the Universe is the one of the dwarf planets, Ceres, and you can see Ceres in Leo. Well, a couple nights ago, which you wouldn't have because of the smoke in the sky, but it's still going to be close to Leo. And so if you have Valerium or one of the other applications, you can track it down and see if you can find it in your telescope. And that's it for May. So fingers crossed we get some clear skies with no smoke. Any questions?
Thanks, Dave. Are there any questions for David at all before we go on?